I surely didn't volunteer to be in Tulsa for 10 days, but I was there, so what was I to do? The first thing that I learned that there was no connecting flights into Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I wasn't going to see Kevin Durant or Brian Westbrook because they were in the Olympics. I had to make it work in Tulsa world. Now, when I think of Oklahoma, I think of Native Americans, I think of Mexicans, and I think of the oil industry. Drilling, refining, roughnecks and roustabouts, just as this mural depicts. It didn't take long before I saw the Sunoco building. Yeah, Sunoco used to have a refinery in Tulsa before they sold that off, long before they sold off Philadelphia and Marcus Hook. Downtown Tulsa is interesting, some great buildings, some interesting architecture, but no people. No one lives down there. I couldn't find a postcard or a taxi cab. I went to park at a meter and didn't have change, and the lady said, "It's almost 5 o'clock. We don't even take money in our meters after 5. This one particular building caught my eye, though, because it looked so familiar, and it looked familiar because it's the same design as the World Trade Center. Not only is it the same design, but the guy used the same builders. It's not nearly as tall as the World Trade Center, but it does provide a nice sight line. Tulsa has some very impressive churches downtown. They're huge, with some very old and unique architecture. There are a few eyesores here and there, but you could tell that this was a spectacular building at some point. It didn't take long to find some great sculptures throughout many of the parks and open spaces in the area. And Black Wall Street was one of my favorite haunts while I was there. Oral Roberts University is in Tulsa and has this huge statue of praying hands. We've talked about the sunrise, but did I say it was 106 degrees the first days I was here? The river was dry. Most of the fun and entertainment were in some of the smaller neighborhoods. There was actually a Philly cheesesteak shop, which I refused to go to, but I really love Nelson's. That food was so good. Home-cooked meals. A buffeteria? I wanted some of that southern barbecue, and the waitress convinced me to get some sugar bacon. I think I'm still in sugar shock. Since I sweated out of most of my clothes, I went to a laundromat. Pool table, bar, and books in a laundromat? Wow. You can double park in Tulsa. People live interestingly. Chia pet furniture out in the yard. And hell, you can live in the teepee. Superman comes by because this is the only place in the world that I've seen a phone booth that's still in place. But Oklahomans are proud. Oklahoma. It was an interesting trip.